Hello, all Israel News viewers. I'm Oriel Moran. This is Levi from Discover Israel Tour with Levi. Levi, where are we and what are we doing here today?
So happy to be back. We are at Tel Afek, one of the most important strategic borderlines of Israel. One of the international trade routes went through where we are, and we could see why. Look at this abundance of fresh, clear water. Anyone would want this place.
I'm so excited. Let's go.
Tel Afek, our strategic location based on one of the major trade routes between two ancient empires, the Mesopotamian Empire and the Egyptian Empire. Now, trade routes went through our Fertile Crescent because they had nowhere else to go. They would either be on the sea, which they had the struggles of the storms and the wind, pirates sometimes. You couldn't go in the Jordan Desert, this peninsula over here, because it would just be so barren with no water sources. This sort of green, demographic, colorful parts of the map were the only place to pass through. Now, the historic Via Maris, the way of the sea, was an ancient route which many nations used to cross. It would have followed today's going through Gaza, up around route number 4, and then moving towards route number 6. And it would have stopped exactly where we are right now, called Tel Afek, for one specific reason. We have this big river called the Yalkun River, which goes right through Tel Aviv, which you couldn't cross with your camels, so you had to come to the source of the Yalkun River. Now, when we're looking for the source of the Yalkun River, it's where we're standing right now. Whoever controls this source of the Yalkun River would be able to tax ancient pilgrims, they'd be able to tax trade routes, they'd be able to then control all regions in this area. So the Philistines were in control of this region and the Judeans wanted to come and conquer it. I don't need to tell you why. You can just have a look for yourself. Now, when a Judean was sitting here, he wanted to make sure that the Philistines wouldn't come and conquer this region. So I'm going to tell you a little trick that I learned inside of the army. So we've got two kinds of vision. We have the peripheral vision and we have the focused vision. Now, to connect to your peripheral vision when you're sitting on guard duty for a long time and see if anyone's coming, you want to see things that move slightly, you want to see the colors become brighter, but you want to see further than just your focused vision. So what we're going to do is you're going to take your hands, you're going to move your fingers like this, you're going to move it further and further and further until the side, all the way until your peripheral vision kind of sees it. Now I want you to focus on your fingers over there. And then when you've come into this sort of dazed and hazy thing where you can't see things focusedly, but you see further, then put your hands down and focus on that. It should be able to center your mind in a little bit of a meditative way. Now, what you're looking at now is a wider range of vision, but they're not a focus rated vision. So you'll see things that are moving faster, colors will become clearer, you'll see things running around you. And then when you see something which causes a danger, you then focus on it, and then you've missed the rest of your vision. But by focusing on this peripheral vision, I've doubled my ability to see within a region. Yet, give it a try. We're going to sneakily try to attack that tower over there without them seeing us, because we want to reconquer Afek after we were stood in our ground here twice by the Philistines. We've had enough. So it's time to take it back. We're coming around the back side to try to strategically attack the tower. We are moments before their attack to take over Tel Afek. This is a critical moment. They haven't spotted us yet. I'm kind of hungry, my stomach is rumbling. Lucky for me, I've kneeled down on a plant which I can eat called khubza. Arabic khubbaz means bread. You can see the thickness, so quick snack before their attack. Gotta be quiet, roll up, surprise attack. 3, 2, 1, charge! And we've breached the city walls. We've made it inside. Let's get the tower. Da-da-da. It is now ours.
We're going up to the tower through the normal route. So if you guys want, you just go up the trail on the side and then see it from up there.
We've already established dominance for you. Don't worry, safe and secure. All you have to do is pay an entrance fee now. No need to attack.
No need to attack.
"3,200 years ago, God commanded the Jews to then take over this land. We've been trying ever since. Let's talk about one of the battles that we could see in Samuel 1. Judges, this is around this period called the Judges period, where our arch enemies, the Philistines, were on this border. They had this as a fort city, and it was essential for us to then take over this land to secure the borders of our capital, which was in Jerusalem. Multiple battles happen after that. Sadly, Joshua ben Nun doesn't manage to actually capture the place. We see this as a place of great loss of the Judean people and the Israelites in this region. The later periods in the Israelites, there were specific periods when we did have control over this place. The next major period where we see an establishment here is during the Roman period. Hold on, I forgot one very important detail. Predating the Philistines, this was a Canaanite city called Afek, mentioned in the Bible. The Canaanite city had to be captured by Joshua ben Nun. So the Canaanites were here, the Egyptians were here, including the Philistines were here, and afterwards the Judeans were here. All the way through the Roman period, around 2,000 years ago, Herod was an incredible builder, and he got most of his money from the Judeans and then built these beautiful lavish cities in this region. And one of the lavish cities is where we're standing right now. Right beneath me, we could see the Roman Cardo from the city of Antipatris, built for Herod's father at this strategic location. After the Romans left and we have the destruction of the Second Temple, this place lost importance all the way until around the 15th, 16th century, where the Ottomans build a fortress here that you can see protecting the roots and protecting basically the spring, and they called this place Pinelbasi. Pinelbasi, which basically means the head of the spring. How do we know that this location is Afek? Well, let's look. First of all, we know about its strategic importance because of the multiple battles that happen here. Second of all, we know that it has strong water sources. Third of all, look what we have before us, the remainders of the Canaanite city of Afek. As we've seen in other places, or you can see in other places, such as Tel Beersheva, such as places dating back to Middle Iron Age, so we're talking about 3,800 years ago, we can see this basin in front of the city on the outside for the cattle to then drink water, and we can see this very well fortified gate. Now, because God has blessed us with wonderful rainfall, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get over, but you can see the gates well fortified. First we have these stones on top, and then you'd have a mud brick arch which covered the gate. Your first entrance to the gate would have been the place where you pay your taxes or get judged, and then you'd have the people's houses inside. Now, we found multiple important elements here that shows the strategic importance of this place. If this was a big trade route, we'd find things from the Akkadians, from the Samaritans, from the Egyptians, from Mesopotamia, all the way down to the Great Nile River. And this was the trade route that would happen. So this would also be a meeting point. Let's say traders wanted to then switch out their product and go see their wife after 3 weeks instead of a month and a half. They would just meet at this location, they would trade their products and go back. So this was a well-known place.
Wow, these towers, they're insane. They're amazing. They're super strong. They're super tall. They're high. And we're going to go inside their minds again for a second. You have to think about the fact that you, as an army, you're coming up here, and you have to remember all the times in which you've done this before, that you can actually conquer this city. You can overtake. And that's something that actually King David would do a lot. Joshua would do that. They would inquire of God, can I overtake this? Will you be with me in this battle? And so imagine they're running up from there. They see the walls. The moment they step into that gate, probably what was going into their minds, through their minds, was God is faithful. He did it again. He did it for me again. God is with me. When you face new challenges, that's something that you must remember. You've done this before. God was with you before. He'll be with you again.
In the Ottoman built structure, tower would have looked exactly like the Judean structure and tower that would have guarded this place. So if I would have done guard duty, I don't know if I would have had a magnifying glass back there, but I'm looking over the fields to make sure that the Philistines don't try to infiltrate my territory.
This place is spectacular. I can't get enough of all these tall structures and remembering just how strong and brave you had to be to come and conquer places. Levi, what do you feel about today?
It's awesome. Exploring the glorious land of Judea, just looking through the timeline of history and experience it, the more place. You know, the stories, there's one specific element in the Bible that without that faith and belief, it's hard to complete the other elements. But when you already have the other elements, the faith and belief of God really comes and enhances itself. You see the actual physical elements, so it's harder to deny that one godly spirit in it.
Right, God is definitely with us. We have had so much fun today. We hope that you have had fun. If you want more Israel-related content, go to allisraelnews.com, hit the notification bell, hit subscribe, and Levi and I will see you in the next one.